Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. As you noted, overall market was up today after elections. In this video, we'll discuss future impact on NVIDIA and how much more NVIDIA may go up before earnings. We'll use latest data analysis, fundamentals, and technical charts for this assessment. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 142.96. It made a high 146.49. It made a low 141.96 and it closed at 145.61. That is 4.07% up. And this is perfectly aligned with my previous expectation. In my previous video, I mentioned that if everything goes well during elections and after elections, you will see market will go up. And that's what exactly happened. And you saw that clear victory for Mr. Donald J. Trump, and there was no confusion around it. So market took it as a very positive sign. And not just Nvidia. I see most of the stocks went up today. Let's take a look at S&P. So S&P was up about 2.53% and Nasdaq was up about 2.95% and Dow Jones was up about 3.57%. And in my opinion, this upside is not over. From now until next 2 or 3 months, I think that market has the potential to go further up about 10 to 15% overall if we compare with the prior two elections. But not every day a market will go up, right? Some days you will see market up, the next day you might see some profit taking happening. So as you noted, after Nvidia is up about 4% today, after hours Nvidia is down about 0.21%. So that says some profit taking happening after hours, and it may happen early morning as well. And in my opinion, Nvidia has more potential to go further up than other tech and AI stocks. One major upside movement we saw on Tesla today, the Tesla was up about 15%. So those of you who still has Tesla, congratulations from my side. And in the future, Tesla has some potential to go further up because market thinking that Trump in the office can help Tesla and Elon Musk, right? Because Elon Musk had supported Trump during the elections campaign, so there is a possibility that Mr. Trump can return some favor to Mr. Elon Musk. And also, overall, Tesla financials, as they reported in the previous earnings, is not too bad. Tesla is back on track in terms of the earnings expectations and beating the earnings and the revenue as well. So moving back to Nvidia forward P at this point is at 46.67, much higher than the last week closing. And Palantir, take a look, 163.32. Palantir is having a very good time since past few days and also past few weeks. So today we saw the big jump on Palantir. The reason being the same, Palantir showed a very good financial growth in the previous earnings, and also Palantir CEO has good relation with Mr. Donald J. Trump. That's what I heard from different news sources. SMCI continues to go down, so there is no point buying SMCI at this point. So forward P 7.14, AMD forward P is 32.75. Not a major change from the last week closing. So 32.02 versus 32.75. Now let's take a look percentage change analysis for Nvidia and try to make some assessment. So regarding the cumulative percentage change for Nvidia for this quarter, Nvidia is up about 23.49%. from the previous earning report. So until the next earnings, my expectation was, as I mentioned in my multiple previous videos, that at least Nvidia should touch 30% based on the cumulative percentage change basis before the next earnings. So still Nvidia has about 8 to 10% further room to go further up in next 2 weeks. So as we saw in the last quarter, Nvidia went up about 32%, and one quarter prior, Nvidia was up about 38%. So regarding my Nvidia stock, I sold out my Nvidia stock yesterday, but I bought it again in the pre-market today because I saw that is a clear victory for Mr. Donald J. Trump, and I was more than positive that today market gonna make a big positive movement. So today was the free money. I'm not sure how many of you followed my previous advice on my previous video that if there is a clear victory and everything goes well during and after elections, market is gonna go up. There was no doubt about it. Now let's take a look technical charts for Nvidia. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the Bollinger Bands. You see that Bollinger Band, the upper band and the lower band is moving on the upward direction, and that tells the strong positive momentum on Nvidia is still there. And also the gap between the upper band and the lower band is expanding further compared with what we had last week. So that also tells a positive sign. So now I'm showing you the MSD chart. So the bottom one, you see that the blue line keeps going up and there was steep slope on the MSD line. And that tells a strong positive momentum, just like here in the past and also here. So more room for Nvidia to go further up in next few days. And if you remember, on my video I posted over the weekend, I mentioned that by the end of this week or early next week, Nvidia should be able to make another all-time high. But it did even before the end of this week, It touched 146.41 today. So tomorrow, based on the MSCD, there is a possibility that some profit taking might happen tomorrow before the afternoon, and we might see more upward movement after that. Now let's take a look Fibonacci levels. So I have redrawn the Fibonacci levels based on the new all-time high. So based on the new levels, the next level of support is at 133.79 and after that 125.99. But at this point, we have a strong positive momentum. So there is a possibility that Nvidia can make another all-time high in next few days. And my overall maximum price projection for this quarter for Nvidia was about 152. Let me show you one more time. So you see here the maximum price projections for Nvidia before next earning around 152, and I shared with you this data probably 4 weeks ago, and so far so good. Nvidia is trending in that direction. So there is a possibility that Nvidia can go further higher than 152. And based on the forward P, I showed you multiple times in the past as well that forward P of 50 before the earnings is achievable, and that takes Nvidia to touch 153.99, correspond to 50 forward PE. Now let's take a look some news and other data regarding Nvidia. So let's take a look this one that says Trump's victory could help big tech stock, especially Nvidia. But there is one warning sign. Let's open it. And this analysis is from Barron's.com. So very first thing they mentioned that investors should prepare for uncertainty. So Trump often changed his mind on policies, for example, TikTok, and they wanted to ban on TikTok, but there was no action ultimately. And this analysis gives some prediction. For example, for big tech, it says that they do not expect significant changes compared with the status quo. And another analysis they mention here that they anticipate that the large technology companies may have an easier time completing deals, and that's going to help tech companies as well. And regarding AI and the chip policy, they mentioned that there will be a significant differences under Trump, especially in terms of regulation. So Trump has voted to cut burdensome rules and red tape. So that's going to help AI and chip companies. So that's a good news for them. Another benefit to AI innovation could come in the area of energy deregulation. And that's again going to help NVIDIA chips and other tech companies. So, overall, from this analysis, it looks that Trump's victory is going to help NVIDIA further. Now, let's take a look. This one that says chip stocks like NVIDIA, Broadcom, and Taiwan Semi gain after Trump win. What's going on? So, regarding the Taiwan Semiconductor, this looks interesting. It says that the stock is trading lower on Wednesday in anticipation of higher tariffs. So, based on the previous Trump administration policies, they attacked Taiwan twice, claiming that the country undermined the US chip industry. So, Trump also criticized the CHIPS Act and pledged tariffs on Taiwan chips if elected. So, that's not going to help Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. That's why they are cautioning that the tariffs could disrupt the global supply chain for chip. So, in my opinion, this was a very good finding. So, yeah, NVIDIA supplier, the chip manufacturers, we can expect some uncertainty what Trump gonna do in the second term regarding his policies. And this one again regarding the implications after Trump win the election. Let's take a look. So it says that Trump win could hinder tech EV sector growth, slow the pace of AI revolution. Analysts lay out 2024 election implication. So if we scroll down further, it says what a Trump win means. The analyst said a Trump win could create major changes in tariffs and could impact the overall technology supply chain. And it further says that Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla are highlighted in the report as companies that could be negatively impacted by the possibility of retaliatory impacts from China. And that further says that the analyst said a Trump win could slow the pace of the AI revolution. So overall, I tend to disagree with this analysis because, in my opinion, Trump would not make any policies to slow down or discourage AI revolution. And yes, he's a tariff guy if you look at his first tenure, but in the second term, probably he might approach things differently this time. I guess that's all about news and analysis regarding Nvidia and regarding the economic calendar. As we know that tomorrow we have the FOMC interest rate decision, and what I heard from different sources, the market is expecting around 25 basis point reduction this time. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And Friday, we do not have any major data coming in. So that's all about my analysis and assessment for NVIDIA for today and next few days. You see that overall market is taking Trump's victory as a positive sign, but at the same time, we need to be cautious because I see some analysis that if Trump imposes new tariffs on China, that's gonna hinder the supply chain or the chip industry as well. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.